Hi everyone and welcome back to another one of my reviews. Today we're checking out the Moto G30 smartphone by Motorola. My name is Sebastian from TechCentury and I'm here to help you make the right purchasing decision. Starting off with the price and availability, the Moto G30 retails for roughly $225 for the 6GB RAM and 128GB of storage version. Inside of the box of the Moto G30 you not only find the smartphone itself, but also a clear TPU case, a charger as well as a USB-C cable. In terms of design and build, I've received the pastel sky version of the G30 that has a white purplish plastic back that feels decent in the hand. One thing that I'm not the biggest fan of are the crackling sounds the case makes when applying a bit of pressure. The 6.5-inch LCD display makes the Moto G30 a rather big phone despite relatively small bezels, but fortunately the viewing angles are good due to the IPS panel. The refresh rate of 90Hz is also welcome. While the display resolution is rather low for today's standards at HD+, with a resolution of 1600 x 700 pixels, that actually didn't bother me too much during my 2 weeks with the phone as my daily driver, but there was another way bigger issue. The maximum display brightness of less than 270 candela, which is just plain unacceptable these days and which makes the display barely visible on sunny days outdoors. Just for comparison purposes, the Poco X3, which is similar in price, has a maximum display brightness of over 600 candela, which is a huge improvement. In terms of speaker, there unfortunately is only a single mono speaker on the G30 that honestly just doesn't even sound that good. When it comes to performance, the Snapdragon 662 processor in combination with the 4GB of RAM in the version that I have right here is not exactly a performance beast, but it's definitely good enough for all everyday tasks such as web browsing, social media and YouTube. Even mobile games such as Call of Duty and World of Warships are possible if medium settings are acceptable to you and if you don't mind slowdowns every now and then. In terms of cameras, Motorola advertised the G30 with a 64-megapixel quad camera array on the back, and while that is technically true, to be real with you, they're just two real cameras that are worth talking about: the 64-megapixel main sensor and the 8-megapixel 180-degree ultra-wide. So, and now you're seeing video footage straight from the Moto G30's main camera that can record 1080p video at up to 60 frames per second. And now you're seeing video footage from the ultra-wide-angle camera that can only record 1080p at up to 30 frames per second. And last but not least, we of course also have to check out the video footage from the front-facing camera, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. The quality of the images and videos taken on these both cameras were average at best, and for the price range okay during daylight, but nothing to brag about. Video recording also tops out at 1080p 60 on the main camera and 1080p 30 on the ultra-wide. The front camera with its 13-megapixel sensor was decent and good enough for selfie or video calls, but nothing special either. In general, I can only say that I personally wouldn't buy the G30 because of its cameras. With its rather large 5000 mAh battery, I was expecting really good battery life out of the G30, also considering its dim display and not too powerful processor, but it wasn't quite able to live up to my expectations. On average, I managed to get around 5 hours of screen on time with approximately 10% battery left. While that is definitely good and I never drained it throughout a single day, other phones like the Poco X3 were even better in this aspect. But now it's time for my verdict, and the Moto G30 is a good, solid lower-end smartphone with a fast and reliable fingerprint reader on the back, a good main 64-megapixel camera, expandable storage and decent performance. If you're all about the best specs and performance for the money, other smartphones like the Poco X3 might be a better choice though. But if your priorities are different and if you value your privacy over specs, then the G30 might be a worthwhile contender. As usual, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching.